You ever just look at the Hulk smashing everything in sight and just feel green with envy? What if you could do that? How awesome would it be to just Hulk out into a giant rage monster to escape all of life's trivial problems? Although having Hulk's abilities comes at a great cost, I think it's actually one of the best powers you could have. Today's video is all about what you could do in your everyday life with Hulk's super strength. And oh boy, the possibilities are endless. So let's get into it. There are so many positives with the Hulk's powers that you don't even realize. You could go from being an average Joe to being one of the strongest individuals in the entire galaxy. All you have to do is stumble upon a ridiculous amount of gamma radiation. That shouldn't be too hard, right? Gamma radiation is normally made from extreme levels of heat. So, say you're one of the brave souls that likes to pop pizza rolls in their mouths as soon as they come out of the microwave. Even though you know they're too hot. You know they are. Well, you never know. That could possibly produce enough gamma radiation to turn you into a real-life Hulk. Hey, it could happen. And boom! Prepare to Hulk out. When it comes to what you could do with Hulk's powers, the sky is honestly the limit. Just look at some of the amazing things he's done in the comics and films. He's the guy who's literally lifted mountains to save his friends, as seen in the original Secret Wars comic arc. It was definitely a standout moment that made us think being big, green, and angry comes with some major perks. But it's not just being incredibly strong that makes the Hulk so awesome. Remember that time in the comics that he got hit with a punch that had the force of 100 trillion tons and then basically shrugged it off like it was nothing? I don't know about you, but if I was ever hit with a 100 trillion ton punch, I'd dissolve into a disgusting goo pile, and I would prefer it if that didn't happen. But to be fair, living life as the Hulk doesn't mean it's all villain fighting and secret superhero after parties. Nope, if you had the Hulk's abilities in everyday life, everything would be completely different. And as long as you don't mind being big and green, you'll have the time of your life. You're now the strongest person on Earth, and you only get stronger the more angry you get. And look around you, there's so much stuff nowadays that could make you angry. Does the coffee barista screw up your order and yell out the wrong name? Do you suspect the waiter at your favorite restaurant is spitting in your food? Fear not! You could just turn into a gigantic rage monster and stuff like that'll never happen again. Sure, you'll be all over the evening news, but it's worth it. The point is, there's a lot of stuff that can make you angry out there. So instead of suppressing that giant green rage monster, you should let it out and have some fun. Another perk would be your ability to travel. You may not be able to fly, but you can certainly jump from state to state. And really, isn't that better than flying? Flying seems like it takes a ton of concentration, but with jumping, you just launch yourself in a certain direction and let gravity do the rest. Don't worry about hurting yourself when you inevitably start coming back down to Earth though, because you're basically indestructible now. And besides all the awesome stuff you could do with your new strength and bulk, like trying out for the NFL or finally being tall enough to ride those rides you were always too short for at your local amusement park. Oh, they'll never let me on the Comet. There's another factor that you should consider. When Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk, he turns into a separate person with his own consciousness. Given the world we live in today, aren't you just tired all the time? Don't you wish you could sit back and take a break at some point? Well, with the Hulk's powers, that's now a reality. You have an entire new personality living inside you now, which means if you ever want a day nap, you can just get angry and let the Hulk come out to play. Sure, there would be a lot of collateral damage, but at least you get your beauty sleep. And sometimes you just have tasks that you don't want to do yourself, but you know you gotta do them, like cleaning dishes after you've used them. It might take some serious training, but what if you could Hulk out every time the dishes were dirty and the Hulk did them for you? Sure, the first few times would result in a lot of broken dishes, but I'm positive that with enough time and effort, you could get the system down. And how cool would it be to always have a friend with you? Making new friends when you're an adult sucks, and sometimes your normal friend group is just too busy to hang out. But with Hulk powers, you now have somebody with you all the time. Say goodbye to loneliness forever. Sure, the only people you would lose in your life are the ones who wouldn't want to hang out with someone who can morph into a gigantic green monster, but really, who wants to be friends with those losers anyway? And don't forget the best perk of all, stretchy clothes. I can't tell you how many times I've ruined my jeans or pants in the laundry by accidentally shrinking them, but if I had the Hulk's powers, that wouldn't be a problem anymore. For some reason, being the Hulk gives you magical clothing that never entirely rips, even when you Hulk out. It's a weird power, but an important one nonetheless. Jeans are expensive nowadays, and I want to make sure I get the most bang for my buck. Just make sure you stock up on the color purple. Trust us, you're gonna need a lot of purple. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows when you have the Hulk's powers. As awesome as it would be to have the ability to turn into the single strongest weapon in the entire galaxy, it's going to be difficult to control. I mean, you get stronger the angrier you get, so imagine what happens when you're super peeved off. Like all those baristas and waiters, as I mentioned before, might never screw up your order again, because they won't be around anymore to make that mistake. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. When you're angry, you want to lash out at people. And one little side effect of the Hulk being the strongest person in the world full of normal humans might give everyone who crosses you a one-way ticket to Skeleton Town. Plus, I hope you have a good job with a strong salary because you're going to be getting some bills in the mail. Look, it might not always be your fault, but when you're angry, you're gonna cause millions of dollars of damages. And who do you think the government will charge for all of that? Yeah, you're probably gonna have to sell your body to science just to cover some of the expenses. And it won't always be a huge path of destruction either. Yeah, it's easy to freak out at somebody who cuts you off in traffic and then proceed to sink the entire state of California, but even small things will become an issue. Say you're rocking out in the shower, singing at the top of your lungs when you accidentally drop the shampoo bottle on your big toe. You get angry and you suddenly Hulk out, breaking your shower and everything in your bathroom. Your landlord's gonna have a field day with you. Better off to invest in a king-size bathroom from now on. And I mentioned earlier that some friends might leave you because they don't want to hang out with a rage beast all the time. But even the friends who stick around might not be there out of their own free will. They might just be too scared to leave out of fear of what you'd do to them, and they would do everything in their power to keep you calm and stable. That doesn't sound like true friendship. Of course, your true friend is your Hulk personality, and although it's great to have a connection like that, it's not like Hulk's consciousness would make for a particularly engaging conversation. I'd expect nothing but a bunch of grunts, groans, and three-word sentences when you're trying to have a serious talk. It'd be like talking to a wall that has the potential to kick your face in. I mentioned magical stretchy pants earlier, but that's only one aspect of your outfit. Say goodbye to the rest of your wardrobe. In the MCU, Hulk is lucky to have fellow science bro Tony Stark around to make him very specific clothing. But not in the real world. In everyday life, every time you Hulk out, your shirt and shoes are going to be ripped to shreds. I hope you like looking like Billie Eilish because you're gonna have to wear extremely baggy clothes at every opportunity. Just in case something tips you over the edge. And even then, still expect that when you shift back to your puny human form, you're gonna be naked a whole bunch of the time, which just adds to the list of crimes you're committing. They're already going to give you a ticket for all the collateral damage you caused, but tack on running around naked to the mix? That sounds like strikes 2 and 3 right there, bucko. But here's the worst part. You'll probably have to learn yoga to stay calm. Ugh, can you imagine waking up early every morning to go stretch and get into your Zen place? Sounds like a lot of work, but it's completely necessary in making sure you learn how to stay calm, cool, and collected in your everyday life. When everybody talks about the Hulk, the big thing that comes to mind is his anger issues. And throughout his comics history, the MCU, and even this video, it's been discussed in depth about how vital anger is to the Hulk's abilities. Now, this might seem like a monumentally crazy idea, but I think the Hulk's anger and rage could be used in a positive way. You just need to find a way to control it. In the MCU specifically, we didn't see a lot of Bruce Banner actually trying to control and talk with the Hulk. Sure, we had that awesome line in the Avengers about him always being angry, but that didn't really answer anything. Other than that, Banner tried to lock Hulk out of his life, instead of embracing him. But I think what you would need if you got the Hulk's powers is a little couples therapy. You know the Hulk's angry all the time, but why? Talking with someone in therapy or even going through anger management courses could really help in getting to the heart of Hulk's issues and spinning this power in a positive light. And if you could find a way to prevent the big green guy from coming out at inopportune times, then your life's gonna be golden. If you could learn how to control your rage to only come out when you want it to, then all your little problems are solved. Now you won't just freak out when someone accidentally rear-ends you from behind while you're driving, causing you to turn into a rage monster and turn both cars into tiny compactable cubes. Instead, you could choose when to use your anger. So overall, in regard to the question, what if you had Hulk's super strength, the answer is, well, it'd allow you to do almost everything you want, at a cost. But I'd consider that an absolute win. Yeah, if given the choice, I would love to have the Hulk's powers. My favorite color is green anyway. What about you guys? Would you want Hulk's powers in real life? Let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe to CBR for more awesome content just like this. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.